In terms of your question, your second question was stagflation. So I don't see the stag or the inflation, actually.
Guys, Federal Reserve absolutely fucked themselves today. This was probably the worst Federal Reserve meeting in years because literally, for someone who is data dependent, all data we have gotten over the course of last 2 months spells out two things. There's slower economic growth and there's higher inflation. And yet, he's making a joke about stagflation, which is exactly what it is. And his rebuttal to stagflation was ridiculous. He basically said, well, guys, I remember what stagflation is. I was around in 1970s and the unemployment was 10% and GDP was shit and basically inflation was 10%. And he's like, well, now we got unemployment is at 3.8 and inflation is only 3%. Yes, but it's not where thing is now. Okay, it didn't start out, unemployment didn't start out in the 70s at 10%. Inflation didn't start out in the 70s at 10%, but it got there real quick between 1973 and 1975. So it's not where things are right this very moment. It is a direction of where things are headed. And the Fed is going to be completely blinded. And this is probably going to be going down as the worst joke a Fed president has ever made. He don't see stag, okay? Yet he goes later in the press conference, he goes later to admit the fact that, oh yeah, I understand the GDP drop from last year where it was at 3.4, it drops now to 1.7. But if you take this data out of the GDP report and you take this out and you take this out and you take this out, you're going to get to 3.1. Okay, so guys, I'm telling you, he is not data dependent. It's total bullshit, okay? So the Fed is full of shit. The first video we posted on the channel, one of the first few videos, we said this is going to be the year, 2024, when Federal Reserve is going to lose its credibility. And I think it just happened. It just happened today on May 1st, okay? And maybe the market is going to actually believe that the Fed is not full of shit, because maybe the only thing that could make the market believe that temporarily, despite of this highly contradictory press conference, is the fact that maybe Powell already knows the job report. I'm speculating on it that he already knows that the job report this Friday is going to come pretty decent. And that is why he is downplaying those stagflation concerns. But they're real. Okay, and before you know, inflation can escalate into the stratosphere while people are going to be losing jobs and jobs, a ton of jobs. I mean, the trend is there. It's just the reality is the unemployment rate is probably already above 10%. It just, they're hiding the numbers, guys. They're hiding the numbers. And why would they hide the numbers? Well, the only person that's interested in fake numbers right now, the only person that's interested in that is Biden. But I think, guys, look at this chart. That's why I pulled it up. I mean, this is S&P 500. So we've said, look, this is the fucking top. Based on the chart, we're going lower. Small bounce. The market can bounce. Okay, we're going way lower here. So it doesn't matter. We're going to slightly bounce overnight or, but there's a great probability tomorrow the market is going to reverse. And look, the market could see no stops from here. Everybody's going to be selling in May. In this particular year, 2024, sell in May and go away. That actually is one of the years where that statement is going to hold true. So you're going to see a lot of sellers in May. People are going to be unloaded. I don't see the market is going to see any stopping until it hits this level of 4,700. I think people are going to really look back at this press conference and they're going to begin contrasting this to the press conference in October of 2023. So everything he just said totally contradicts what was said during the October. It is because of the way the press conference by the Federal Reserve was conducted in October of 2023. It is because of that the market participants decided that we're going to get 6 to 7 rate cuts. Well, right now, the question is not even whether there's going to be rate cuts. I mean, the consensus now is 1 rate cut for 2024. So you go from expectation of 6, 7 rate cuts to now a solid case of only one rate cut. But the main question remains, if inflation is going to keep outpacing other economic indicators, while other economic indicators are actually trending lower, then it actually has no reason for any kind of rate cut. So by the end of the year in 2024, we may end up with 0 rate cuts unless an emergency is going to happen. And the case for the emergency is going to be like the market begins completely falling the fuck apart. They cannot hide the fake job report numbers anymore. You're going to see a severe deterioration in unemployment. You're going to see, like out of the 10 friends that you may be talking to, okay, 5 is going to be out of a fucking job in the next 6 months. So at that point, it is impossible to fudge the numbers, okay? And they may be calling an emergency meeting at some point between now, May 1st, and October. Between now and October, they may be calling for an emergency meeting for an emergency rate cut. But it's not the kind of rate cut that actually gets the markets moving higher. It is exactly the opposite. An emergency rate cut basically tells you, oh shit, the Fed just confirmed they're not credible, they're full of shit. Everything they told us in October 2023 was total bullshit. Okay, they set this crazy market expectation for a lot of rate cuts. Now, none of it is becoming a reality. Instead, okay, for all the reasons that the market's been rallying, it should have been dropping. But yet, the drop that we're seeing so far is just minuscule. So you got a huge collapse. I don't know how many times I've repeated in the last 4 months, 2024 is an equivalent of 1974. Okay, temporary oil prices pull back, gold prices pull back. By the end of the year, those things are going to be substantially higher. Okay, so you guys can't ignore what's happening right now, because with this type of setup, we could be getting a 30% drop off right here. Guys, 30% drop off from current levels, okay? I mean, this is a substantial drop. I mean, 30% will put us back at 3,500. It's not even on this chart, and it's not even on this time frame. Imagine the market by the end of the year, or some point in October, November, could be like way below any point on this chart. It's going to be below this point. It's going to be below this point. I mean, this is just 4,100. So the Fed is so blind, okay, that it is almost inevitable you will get a major fucking move in the markets lower, okay? And the only savior for the markets at this point is going to be Trump. So with this press conference that you have just seen, okay, there's only one outcome. Biden is going to lose this fucking election. That's 100%, okay? The only way you beat the markets is you stay with Trump. The only way you beat the markets in 2024 is you stay with Trump, which is why I don't want you guys to miss the 500x meme coin, okay? The only thing we've been bullish on is we've been highly bearish on the market over the course of last week, and it's proven to produce some killer trades, guys. Those market moves in the last 30 minutes of trading has produced some colossal 20-30x trades on SPY, on S&P futures, killer trades on same-day expiration options, guys. So if you miss those, guys, you got to give us a call. You can't afford to be missing. This is a head and shoulder pattern overall with absolutely no volume going at the head part of the formation. This market is consistent as far as charts, as far as patterns, and as far as what's happening overall, with Fed being completely blind to the fact that we are in 1974. This is not in 1999. In 1974, there's a 30% crash, and we're looking at a 30% drop from here, guys. 3,500 is where the market could hit at some point in 2024. The question is, do you know how to trade it? Okay? And again, the only thing we've been bullish on is DJT, guys. DJT, if you're part of the pay member alert group, guys, DJT, former DWAC, right? DJT, we've told you, if it drops in the low 20s, buy as much as you fucking can. And then about a week ago, I posted a video. Actually, it was less than a week ago. I posted a video when DJT was trading like 37, 38 bucks. I said, buy all you can. Okay, it's moving higher. Since then, DJT is up like, I mean, it was in the 30s. Now it's in the 50s. It had a small pullback today, which is a huge buying opportunity. So you go, guys, the only thing you can be bullish on right now is Donald J. Trump. This is straight up the brutal reality of things, okay? Only Trump can save the market because these Democrats they've raped the shit out of this market, guys. All of these fake market movements over the course of like basically since the bullshit conference where Feds got everybody hyped up about 6, 7, or 8 cards, all of that will be wiped out in a matter of like trading days. I mean, in May, we can finish May at like, the question is there's two outcomes. We can finish May for the indexes at 4,700, or we can finish at 4,250 or like 4,100. This is what you could see in May. All right, people will be unloading positions. So it is amazing based on this highly contradictory press conference of Powell that the market is even trading at the levels where it's at. The only thing that is a little bit puzzling when it comes to the chart is with as controversial as this press conference has been, okay, we're not getting a huge volume. Like the volume has been off in many major stocks. The volume have been totally off in the indexes. We're getting very, very light volume, but we're seeing a wave of people buying protection going into October, November. We're seeing a lot of people getting concerned about the market over the course of the next 6 months. But I think we're going to see a lot of people buying protection for May. I mean, this is going to get real serious, real brutal if they're not able to hide the numbers for this Friday job report. So 8:30 Friday could be a colossal beginning of a major lightning fast drop, and this is how the entire May could be. So Fed is blind to the fact that 1974 has started now in 2024. The data has been consistently pointing to it, and yet the Fed chooses to laugh it off, okay? So there's only two things as a trader that you could be certain about now is you short the fucking market, especially on any kind of bounce, guys. The market, a very bearish sign is when a market bounces on very low volume. And that's what's happening, okay? Every bounce we've had in the market recently, like some of these candles right here, they're on low volume. Do you see like this green candles? They're much lower than the red candles. So overall, there's a lot of selling. There was a lot of selling here. This was a predecessor sign to that there's a much bigger drop. But yet the price action has not caught up with this yet. The price action has not caught up with this yet. Okay, so yet we're going to see a series of major red candles that are coming up, guys. And yet there's one trade to be bullish on is you bet on Donald J. Trump, guys. And so with that, don't miss the announcement, guys. This launch is going to be super exciting. We're going to be launching this meme coin, guys. If you haven't gotten in touch with us yet, go to 13marketmoves.com. I think we made an opt-in for anyone that wants to participate in this 500x meme coin opportunity. You can. This is probably going to go down in history as one of the greatest meme coins ever launched, as far as the timeliness of the launch, as far as the virality of the launch, as far as the number of participants that could be coming into this coin over the course of the next 5-6 months. But as someone that following this channel, guys, for a year, for 5 years, 6 years, guys, if you've been following 13 Market Moves for a while, I'm telling you, this is the easiest, simple trade. You could be calling on the call side while the rest of the markets are dropping. So there's two things you could be doing. Okay, you could be participating in the 500x opportunity meme coin launch, or you could call us right now and trade with a coach some of these crazy opportunities. We can point out to specific strikes and expirations that could put together as much as 50x in your pocket on some of these trades. So don't attempt this stuff on your own, okay? Entries and exits are the most vital part of trading. So don't attempt to put this stuff on your own, guys. It's better to call us. We've done it hundreds of times, thousands of times. We've put together trades that run 30, 40, 50x. Plus, in rare instances, we put together trades that run 100x, 160x, 200x. We've done it so many times. That's how I can be so confident that the market is going to really bless us with a huge opportunity here to where many of you will be able to put this kind of stuff together. It's when the momentum and timing and everything coincides with perfect bearish scenarios on the chart patterns, that's when you go big, okay? And so let's just be grateful that you have this sort of opportunity in front of you. The Fed fucked up, and it makes it for a simple trade, okay? Stagflation is not a good year for stocks. And the 30% drop that I'm talking about right now could be very, very conservative. So trade the blind Fed that cannot see stagflation while they're trying to keep the markets in equilibrium here. There's only one thing that can happen, guys. The market is going to go way the fuck lower. The question is, do you know how to trade it? Which strikes to get? Okay, which stocks are going to drop by as much as 90% while the market is dropping 30%? There's going to be stocks that will drop 90%. It's a fact. So, but there's just one area to get bullish on. Anything's got to do with Trump, it's going to be like when Trump will be elected this year, guys, straight up. That's the only time frame that the market would be able to rally again, because Trump is going to be very good for businesses. And look, the way we trended last Trump win, I mean, I literally had traders. I remember this trade on Wells Fargo, where we were buying Wells Fargo calls for 3 cents. They were like $3 out of the money. And when Trump won, those calls were $3 in the money, which means the options went from 3 cents to $3. Okay, so those are the kind of trades we could be catching when Trump wins in November. Okay, but until then, guys, I mean, Trump is probably the only thing that could slow down the market drop. Okay, but before then, this shit's got ways to go. It's got ways and ways and ways to go lower. So trade on the right side, guys. Don't be fooling around with no calls unless you're buying the 500x meme coin that we're launching in the next 48 to 72 hours. By the way, go to 13marketmoves.com if you are serious about the 500x opportunity we're going to be launching this week, guys. You don't want to miss the timing of the launch, okay? Make sure you put in your information, because we will be sending out an email and a text message 15 minutes before the launch. So if you want to make sure you are acting in timely fashion to be the first ones to get in on this meme coin launch, make sure that you go to 13marketmoves.com right now. Not only do you put your email, but make sure you put your phone number, you put in your WhatsApp number, your Telegram number, whatever it is, because you will get a notification. Okay, that's the advantage that you will have by following 13 Market Moves channel. You will be notified 15 minutes before the launch. All right, so make sure you do that. Click the link below this video. If you don't see the link, just schedule a call. Talk to someone here. We'll put your phone number in the right place, so you will be promptly notified, because sometimes YouTube does not send notifications. So if you're waiting for this video, they'll be talking about the launch, which I'll be posting one right before we do it. Okay, if you don't get a notification from YouTube, I mean, you're gonna be missing the greatest entry on a 500x trade that nobody even knows about yet. But everyone will be talking about this trade over the next 6 months. I promise you, it's a fact. So, but as someone that's been following the channel faithfully, I want you to get the benefit of a perfect entry. So you want the perfect entry on this 500x meme coin we're launching, you go to 13marketmoves.com, you put in your email, you put in your phone number to make sure that you don't miss out on the timing. All right, guys, be ready to trade the markets tomorrow. Some easy trades. I mean, these patterns are so beautiful. They don't happen very often, and they're ripe. They're ripe for the taking. There's going to be some killer trades tomorrow, guys. Schedule a call, sign up to trade with a coach. It's not too late. Take your trading account. You know what? We had a few people hit taking the account 10x in the last 10 days. Okay, so I think we're gonna up that just a little bit. Okay, so why don't we do a challenge now where you 20x your account 20x your account in next 10 days. That's highly reasonable, guys. We're gonna keep the time frame the same based on the chart pattern. If you call 13 Market Moves right now, you'll have a chance to trade with a coach and 20x your account in next 10 days. Some of the biggest trades happen because of the perfect market conditions, and this is what we've got. It is steering you. This chart is telling you 20x in 10 days. Don't miss it, guys. 13mmtv.com, 13marketmoves.com. Let's roll. Big trading month, the month of May 2024. A ton of you are going to make money. I'm super excited about it. Let's roll.
Pick yourself off the ground. I say